Hey, it's Chris here today from Huckabones Equipment. We're inside here today. It's a little bit nasty out there, colder with some rain. So we're going to talk about zero turns. And you'll see behind me we have the ZD1611. This is the most expensive unit from Kubota. We're going to do an overview of it so you can see what you can get for that money. So let's do what we always do, start at the front and work our way to the back, pointing out the key features. Okay, so the ZD1611 is the biggest and best zero turn you're going to see from Kubota. Most expensive also, so just be mindful of that. It's not for everybody, but it is something you want to see out there. So this is the newest model from Kubota. Again, before that it was the ZD1500. It had the same engine as what your B3350 had, which didn't turn out. They weren't very reliable, and they were very expensive, and they just didn't work. So Kubota's redesigned them, put the new engine in, come out with the ZD1611, and so far so good on that. Why do you have these big units with big engines, with big cutting power? Well, we've always had them. So before, Kubota had the ZD331s, and they came out in about 2008, 2009 kind of idea, and were on the market for about 7 or 8 years before they moved to the ZD1500. Whenever you get into the commercial cutting, and that's 90% of what you're going to see these on, they want to go all the time, any weather conditions. So if it just poured rain and they are able to get a few hours in cutting grass, with that horsepower, you're going to power through it. It doesn't really matter what's going on out there. It's going to start, it's going to run, and it's going to cut that grass and do a beautiful job. Whenever you jump into the ZD lineup, you can have in the rear discharge either 60 or 72, and then for side discharge it's only available in the 72 inch. You're like, well, that's kind of odd. Why is there not 4 deck choices? Why is there not a rear or side discharge 60 inch? It's because this unit sits at 59 inches wide. So again, just the rear is available and not a side discharge. Whenever you get 60 inch, you'll have to move down to the 1200 series if you're looking for that. So whenever you start out front on these units, you'll see some key features that you'll want to know. Right off the bat is we have the tie downs. Been asking for those for years on these commercial units. And so have the commercial operators been like, I want ease of use, so I want to just be able to tie it right down real quick. We have them now. It's fantastic. They're right into the frame, strong as can be. Just put your straps on there, off you go. After that, these tires, they are bigger, better than what you're going to see on the 1200 series. And again, they are run flats on those. So don't have to worry about any downtime with that. And then your axle. So again, in the ZD lineup from Kubota, you're going to have either the option of having an oscillating axle, which is what you're going to be running 99% of the time, and then you can make it rigid. You just have to put the pin in there and away you go. Why you're going to want that option is if you get into really rough conditions. So you can imagine with your front axle kind of pivoting in and moving over those rougher conditions, it's going to be hard on the operator. If you go rigid, then it's going to try and bounce over it and make it a little bit smoother of a ride. So again, just gives you more options, and that's what you're looking for whenever you're paying this kind of money for a unit. In the 1200 series and the 1500 series, you'll see the maintenance package there on it. You crank that up and you're able to get in underneath and do some greasing and stuff and clean out your deck. It's standard equipment and works awesome if you don't have a tractor or something to lift that deck up on, so to clean it out. So pretty awesome little things that all make it a great package. So let's talk about the deck now. Again, as mentioned, 3 deck choices. So you got your 60 and 72 with rear discharge, and then a 72, which is what we have here with the side discharge. So 9 times out of 10, unless it's government looking for it, you're going to be looking at a side discharge. It is going to be shaft driven, which is why you want that horsepower. It's going to be a 3-blade system. You can put mulch kits on there. Big thing you want to know is your tip speed. Everybody always wants to know that. You're looking at 18,300 FPM per minute. So that is a lot of turns, a lot of grass cutting in that as you're going down there. Also, you want to know what those blades underneath aren't a piece of tin. They're very thick. You're going to get a lot of uses out of them. They're going to bounce off a few rocks before you really put any issues into them. Again, you can adjust your side rollers too. Usually it's just there's no adjustment on them. As you can see here, you can adjust your heights on them as need be, depending on what you're working at that day. And a few years ago, Kubota came out with the ACE system, or the ACS system. Again, it is more it really helped in the fuel efficiency of the unit, made it really efficient turning those blades, and how the airflow gets it out and pushes out the grass. So again, you're like, well, a deck's a deck, whether it be a ZD331 or anything like this. Well, Kubota spent time and obviously a lot of money in the research and development of it to make sure that it was more efficient, that it would take actually less horsepower to push that grass through, even though they still have the same amount of horsepower pushing it. So it really helped on the fuel economy, but really made it a better deck through that grass further, and kind of helped on the windrows, as some operators complained about that. So now let's jump about to your operator station and what are some of the benefits of it. Okay, so whenever we move to the operator station, first and foremost, there's just a wonderful seat on here. It feels like it's giving you a hug. You're so comfortable on it. It is awesome. It is air ride. For the money, you can't ask for a better seat. You're gonna sit in this all day and gonna love it and be comfortable. And it is fully adjustable, whether it's, you can move it forward, reverse, you have the lumbar support, and you're able to adjust it there. And then obviously the air ride makes it super comfortable. You're not even gonna feel those bumps. And whenever you talk about bumps and everything, Kubota always wants us to mention this, is how thick their rubber floor mat is. Again, it helps with the vibration and everything. It looks awesome. It is awesome. It is all nicely level here. There's no bump or anything. And again, that vibration is lessened with that rubber floor mat. And I don't even know why they always want us to mention that, but it is there. So, so anyway, there's your salesman's job on that. It's got a big, thick rubber floor mat. After that, whenever you move off, you have the up and down for your hydraulic deck. So again, you're not going to see that on too many competition units or competitor units, which is nice whenever you have hydraulic lift on something like this. Up and down, and obviously the standard park brake. You have fully adjustable handles here. You'll see the adjustments here if you find them that they're too high or too low. Also the dampers themselves underneath, if you find that it's too hard to push forward or come back, there is 3-stage adjustment on that. So really handy to have that. Again, really focuses in on the operator and makes it yours, so that you're comfortable all day long. Because again, for the money, you're going to spend a lot of time in this seat. After that, you are able to adjust your cutting height from 1 to 5 inches. And then you have your standard layout here, whether it's to engage your PTO, to engage your deck, and then your throttle. On this side, you have an amazing display. It's exclusive to this unit, and it's pretty awesome. It tells you a lot of information really quickly. Does it need to tell you that much? Probably not. You are supposed to have 2 hands up here looking forward, cutting your grass, and just hoping to have a fuel gauge that'll blink at you when you're running low. But in this case, it's going to tell you everything you want to know on this unit, and then some, and you're going to have to stop and look at it, because it is pretty bright and pretty awesome. But it is what you want in something like this. So yeah, pretty awesome operator station to make you comfortable. So before we start talking about the engine and everything, one thing you're going to want to know about these units, especially on the commercial aspect of it, is how easy it is for maintenance. So first off, you have nice and easy to open up here, easy access to get you into that gearbox so you can check your levels, as well as to clean out any blockages you're going to see. Again, Kubota has thought of, well, you're going to be spending 8 hours on here cutting grass, you don't want to be spending 8 hours cleaning it off. So nice and easy to get in here, check your maintenance points, whether it be greasing, checking your oil levels. Then after that, whenever you move a little bit further back, is to get to your seat itself. Nice and easy to get in underneath there. So again, as Kyle likes to point out, it's so easy that a salesman can do it. So, so once you move down into here, again, easy access to everything. Again, whether you want to clean out your grass clippings, check your oil levels, even some access to filters, and basically everything is under here for your daily checks. Also, I forgot to mention whenever I was doing the operator station, I always like to point out how stupid it is to have a couple of cup holders here. So it does have a 12-volt power outlet down in there that is buried down there, and no cover over top. So you just have to be careful whenever you're picking up your garbage and stuff that it's not blowing away as soon as you put it in there. But it does have some useless cup holders there. But to go with the maintenance, pretty awesome. And then you can see whenever you move all the way back here is you got the one-piece hood to open up, and you can get into everything else, you know, whether it's to clean out your front screen here, check your check your rad, and then move back to your air filters and everything. Again, daily checks are no extra tools needed. You are going to be looking at them, checking them, greasing it, and moving on with your day real quick, real simple. So let's talk about that engine now and what makes it so special. So it is a 4-cylinder Kubota diesel turbocharged. It is class exclusive, so you're going to be very close to what you're going to see on the LX 3310, but it is not the same engine. So just be mindful of that whenever you're thinking, oh, it's just, you know, they grabbed it off the shelf and put it in here. Very similar, but not the exact same. So whenever you start dealing with the common rail system, again, Kubota, whenever they used it, was able to save about 18% of the fuel economy. Whether that's going to be translate over and you're actually going to see 18%, more than likely not. It's like the fuel efficiency of the cars whenever they say you're going to get, you know, X amount of miles per gallon, and you never can duplicate that. But you are going to see some fuel savings over either the ZD1611 or what you know, you saw years ago on the ZD331. So quite a bit of savings on that, and a very efficient engine whenever you get into the common rail system. After that, whenever you move over to the turbo, as it was explained to me, you know, it's a very cute, adorable little thing in there to keep that pressure up. In the diesel world, it is very small. Again, whenever we focus in on that, very small, very efficient, and that's what you're looking for on this unit. And one thing you got to point out, again, it has all this. It also has your burn system on the unit. Again, anything over 28 horsepower is going to have that in the Kubota lineup. You're going to see it here. And that was the biggest issue you saw in the ZD1500. They have fixed all that and solved it and put this new engine in the 1600 series to really help with that burn system. It is working flawlessly. One unfortunate thing is obviously at the price tag that it is that's quite a bit of the cost is in developing all that system to work flawlessly for you. So again, so a 31 horsepower, 4-cylinder Kubota diesel turbocharged engine under there. Pretty slick and simple system. All right, so some other things I should point out for you. This is a monster unit. It is humongous. Whenever you get into the world of zero turns, it is huge. And it is quite a bit bigger than what you saw on the ZD1500 and what you have ever seen on a ZD331. Just big size, big capabilities kind of idea. And you will notice that as soon as you see it, like we were unpacking this in the shop, and you just saw, you know, it was like the size of a BX. It's pretty much the weight of a BX at 2,100 pounds. After that is how quiet it runs. It is a very slick sounding unit with that turbocharged, so it really keeps the noise decibel levels down. So again, when you're on it all day, every day, again, you're gonna have your headphones on, especially in the commercial end, but you're gonna not be, you know, have that major pounding headache by the end of the day with it rattling behind you. So you're gonna be quite impressed with that. So again, that brings to the end of today's video. I hope I was able to bring the key features and bring it out to you about what this unit brings to the table. If you did enjoy today's video, please like and subscribe. If you have any comments, please leave them down below. Thank you.